Hey guys, Pooji here. In this video I want to talk about Flexbox and I want to teach you the ins and outs of how Flexbox works in Webflow specifically. So without further ado, let's jump right into the video. Now Flexbox is going to be a property that you're going to use all the time, and Flexbox is short for Flexible Box Layout, and is a CSS layout module designed to provide an efficient way to distribute space among items in a container and align them even when their size is unknown or dynamic. Now, it helps to create responsive and adaptive web designs by allowing developers to control the layout in a one-dimensional space, either as a row or a column. And in order to select the Flexbox display option, you simply have to go under the layout panel and you can select an item, and at that point what you can do is to decide that it's going to be a Flexbox by simply clicking on Flex. Now we're going to leverage the Flexbox playground in Webflow, and you can access this file by simply going on Google and searching for Flexbox playground Webflow, and you're going to find it right away. And this is going to be extremely useful in order to really grasp with live examples how Flexbox works. Now we're going to select the very first element of the playground, and Flexbox is all about selecting the container and then attributing the properties that we desire so that the childs are going to behave in the way that we demand. So in this case, we selected the playground container, which you can see right here. And you can see that if nested in it, there's only this circle. So in order for us to bring this circle on the right, what we need to do is not to select the circle and give it a direction or alignment, but we need to select the top layer parent. And what we can do is to simply click on this section right here of the align, and you can see how the parent is going to dictate where the child is going to be. Now the child is referred to as a flex item, and over here we're going to notice the very next example, which is going to have us add the flex items in the center. Now in order to do this, we can easily simply keep the same direction, because if we change the direction, as we're going to see in just a moment, the direction is going to tilt from horizontal to vertical. In this case, we simply want to align them to the center, and as you can see, you're starting to grasp how powerful this tool can be when it comes to creating layouts in Webflow. Now in this case, we're going to need to align these three by creating a distribute horizontally. So what we're gonna do is, if we select with one click, you can see that the items are either going to be on the top left, top center, or top right. But if we actually double click, you can see how we can now distribute them in a way that it covers the entire width. Now we're close to this, but what we need to do is instead of space between, which is going to distribute the children evenly, so the first and last child is flush with the element, we're going to need the space around, which is going to still distribute children evenly, but start and end gaps or half the side of the space between each child. So you can see how we are starting to have very minute control over our layouts, and these principles, of course, are not going to be limited to simply to simple items like these ones, like these circles, but you're going to utilize Flexbox for all sorts of different items and layouts. Now if we continue, we can see that this one is going to be easier, so we can simply align it on the very bottom, and This one, you guessed it, simply click on center and you're going to have this right. So you can easily see with these live examples how we can utilize Flexbox and create all sorts of different layouts and display options. Now in this case, what we want to do is to utilize the other direction, because we're not limited to just horizontal directions when it comes to Flexbox, but we can easily put items vertically. So the same principles are going to apply also in vertical scenarios, just the main variable, which is going to be the orientation, is going to be different. In this case, very simple. You want to bring them vertically and then on the right and then double click in order to fill up all of the space. This one is going to be an interesting one because we're going to have a different orientation. So how do we actually reverse the order so that the 3 is going to be here and then following 2 and 1 compared to the original order? Well, it's actually quite simple. You wanted to utilize this option, which is going to help us basically change the order. So you can see over here that we have a few different options, and instead of left to right, which is going to be the default, we can actually go under the sub menu of right to left, and by doing this we can easily continue and essentially have all of these other type of display layouts. Now we're going to continue with the very next video so that you can learn Flexbox and really master this. But one recommendation that I have is to, even before we do that, stop this video and go on this page, which again you can find by simply googling Webflow Flexbox Playground, and it's a free file, and I recommend you to start trying these exercising yourself, because you're going to really become familiar with them and the Flexbox layout options.